Hello everyone, welcome to another sharing of wisdom bits. Today I'm going to share with you a very simple thing, but it's very insightful and full of wisdom. So, sometime back when I was apprentice and learning meditation, in a place there was a middle-aged person who came to visit, and this person showed this, and I was thinking, for how can that be? And then later on, when you learn and experience a lot of things, you can understand these things are so true. So it was so simple. He took a piece of paper, and for example, if you take a piece of paper, I hope you can see, if you write like happiness on one side and then sadness, huh? In some terminology it's called suffering. Some people don't like to say that word. huh? So uh, and say this is one side, and then the other side. Nobody likes sadness, right? Or suffering. So everybody seeks happiness in life. So think you have this bar and you can move it. So what we will do is we will surely try to move it towards happiness, right? But think of it like when we are pursuing happiness, the side that increases is the side of sadness or suffering. But if we move the bar towards sadness or suffering, then what happens? The happiness part expands, and you can even fill it up with happiness. So, why is this? Usually, we are like running after a mirage. Everything from work, from childhood, in day to day life, we can see people pursuing many things. We should do it in a proper way, but in a very wise manner. Otherwise, what happens is it becomes like a mirage, and then some people go to the extent that they will do anything for that. They will do even bad things, no, or give away any of the good things they have just because of this seeking happiness. So then what happens is the suffering part becomes more. So it's not to mean the person should suffer, but the ideology is to explore without becoming frightened and trying to run away from it towards the other opposite direction. That only increases it. But if you try to explore what is really there, what is really happening, then you can increase the possibility of happiness in life, career, uh, even in external things, mostly within your hearts and minds. Actually, this is the approach the ancient ones did. They were not afraid of the word like suffering or the cause of suffering or the removal of suffering and the way. So, when you see that, it is so true. Just like that very small example of the piece of paper, we can see how this is happening. So, more you explore what is really troubling you, why are you suffering, what are you going through, then you find more and more solutions or options. You just don't get caught up or you just don't run away. You try to see with it. So, in deep spiritual practices, also, what we are trying to do is we are trying to explore, and this had been going on for like thousands of years actually. Nowadays, we just see people running after the words of happiness or the image of happiness or what social media or whatever shows us, and it has become like a marketing option for little children, adults, in any stage of life. But if you dive in, you can really find the roots of this suffering. And not only that, when you get to know them, you can even learn ways of removing these. So that's why when you dive deep into your hearts and minds, we can find ways we can remove this suffering even for or sadness even forever. That's why it increases the happiness more and more deeper you go into exploration and understanding, more the happiness, and it becomes even a permanent happiness. So let's take this into our minds, and this simple wisdom can help so much. So I wish you all the very best and have a wonderful day.